5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
God, does anyone else have that thing? Like, so I've got this is a long sleeve, and I've got a thermal on underneath, right? Because it's fucking minus numbers today. And it's doing that thing where the sleeve underneath is like twisting in one direction, and then the sleeve on top is twisting in the other direction, and it's making me want to peel my own skin off. Hey pals, it's Sylvie. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing good. Today's video is going to be a reading vlog. I would say weekly reading vlog, but it's not going to be a weekly reading vlog. It's just going to be a reading vlog. We're running this channel purely based on vibes and what I can be bothered to do at the moment, I think. And we'll see how that goes. So today is, I want to say Thursday. That feels right. And I'm just going to get straight into it. I technically have 4 books on the go. I'm not really interested in reading any of them right now. So that gives you an idea of how things are going. This one is possibly going to be a DNF, so I'll get into this first. This is The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield, and I'm listening to the audiobook, and I'm just kind of not into it. I'm going to give it a little bit more of a go and see if it like gets into the story. But basically, I read her, I think she's only got the 3 books out, but I've read Bellman and Black and Something to Do with a River is the other book of hers that I've had, and I loved both of those, and those were both historical fiction, like Victorian era. At least Bellman and Black was. I'm not sure about the other one, but anyway, this is, I'm not sure when this is set, but this is vaguely contemporary, or maybe like 20th century at some point, but it's not historical fiction. And instead the character that we're following has been invited to interview this very like elusive author who has never told her life story, and I think it's going to get like gothic and weird probably, so I'm going to give it another go and see, because this has all been like set up, and I'm going to see if it gets into it and what kind of story we get into when she goes to meet this author, and see where things go. But so far I'm not really feeling it. It's just not really what I expected. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I'm just like, I was in the mood for a kind of semi-magical, weird historical fiction, and that's not what this is, but I'll see how it goes. The second book I have on the go, I'm reading for over a month now. This is The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. This is a book I was reading for non-fiction November. I read 50 pages and it was really interesting. I just feel like I don't have the mental capacity to be reading like heavy non-fiction right now. This is all about trauma. There's quite a few like anecdotes. Anecdotes feels like such a light-hearted word for the traumatic experiences that are being shared in this book, but he's obviously had like a long career of being a trauma therapist, and he's sharing stories from his patients where I guess he thinks it's relevant, and it's just some quite like heavy stuff, and I'm not sure I'm really feeling the heavy trauma things, but I think I'll keep chipping away at it, but probably not today. Book number 3 I'm reading but don't really want to be reading at the moment is The Golden Fool by Robin Hobb. As much as I love a chunky, heavy, slow fantasy. Heavy fantasy? It's not heavy. What's the word I was looking for? High fantasy. That's the one. As much as I love a long, slow, high fantasy, I'm just not really in the mood for it right now. So I've read 48 pages and I'm just like, I want to enjoy this because I love Robin Hobb's writing. I love the world. I love the characters. I know that I have the capacity to enjoy this. I don't want to struggle through 600 pages of a book that I know that I would enjoy under other circumstances. So the 4th and final book that I am reading but not really reading at the moment is Fledgling by Octavia E. Butler. This is Vampires. This is the last book that she published before she died. I didn't know that this existed because I'm just not very familiar with her catalogue of work, but Briar Rose Book Club picked this for their, I want to say for their October book. It's now December, so that's how that's going. But this is excellent, and when I'm reading it, I'm like very compelled to keep going. It's not long, it's like a 300-page book. I'm already 100 pages in. I could get this read in like the next 2 days if I wanted to. I'm not feeling drawn to it, which is annoying because it's really, really good. Like, it's a fantastic book, and I'm extremely intrigued as to what is going to happen. Shori wakes up alone and injured and no idea who she is or where she is or what she is, and then she realizes she's a vampire and has to find other vampires and figure out who she is and what she should be doing to stay alive and all that. Wow, really, really, really no thoughts, head empty today. Jesus Christ. The cold has sapped all of the energy from my brain, I swear to God. This is fantastic. It's fantastically written. It's very compelling. I'm just not feeling compelled to do anything right now, frankly. So those are my 4 current reads. And I don't know. I want to read. It's winter time. I want to get cozy. I spend most of my free time in my bed because it's warm. So I want to be like snuggled in with my Kindle reading a book, but I just don't know what to read. I need like the bookish equivalent of junk food, because I've been watching loads of like rom-coms and like popular action movie type movies recently. And I need the equivalent of that in a book. I just need something like fun and pacey and attention grabbing, because my attention is struggling at the minute, like seriously struggling at the minute. So that is my not update, and I will hopefully have an actual update for you at some point in the near future. I just think maybe I wasn't meant to be in a rectangle, because no matter what I do, I feel like I'm not correctly in frame. Anyway, hey pals, it's, Jesus, what day is it? Monday, the 19th of December. I don't remember when I started this vlog, but I think it may have been about 2 weeks ago. Anyway, I don't really have a reading update for you because I haven't really been reading. I do remember I said I was going to read/listen to some more of the 13th tale. Didn't do that, have decided just to put that aside for another day. I have, however, discovered another book that I'm reading but not reading. I've been listening to the audiobook for The Two Towers. I started it, I want to say in like March, and I finally picked back up, and I've now only got about an hour left in the audiobook, and I'm going to finish it. What a success! No, but I'm really enjoying it. I've said this before, but I'm listening to the Andy Serkis narrations. They're fantastic. He does all the voices. Obviously Gollum is like spot on because it's a him. I will say, as much as I am enjoying this very slow book, it's a very slow book. Like, we've spent hours with Sam and Frodo just like being a bit miserable on their journey. It takes a long ass time, and I fully see why like some people get very bored during these books, because really not a lot is happening, but I'm enjoying it. I like the vibes, I like the narration, I enjoy just being told the story. Hopefully I will get that finished in the next couple of days, because I have 4 books left to read if I want to hit my yearly reading goal of 60. And I think my initial goal when I set it in January was 100, so like I really would like to hit 60. And then I did start another book, because why would I finish any of the million books that I have on the go if I could read a new one? This is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, author of The Night Circus. This came out in like 2019. Okay, that's not so bad. I've had this for 3 years because I pre-ordered this like beautiful fancy special edition. It's got like sprayed edges, and mine is pink. If I remember correctly, there was like 3 versions when you pre-ordered this Waterstones edition, and I got the pink one, whatever that means. Anyway, I'm like 65 pages into this. I don't know, I just suddenly got the urge that I wanted to read this. And I am enjoying it, but also it's kind of like hard to get into. It's one of those that's like a story within a story, and it's all very vague and confusing, and I'm assuming that it's going to all come together, because that's usually what this kind of book does. But all I can say at this point is that I am enjoying it. I always do, so this isn't really a criticism of the book, but I always do find it a little bit tedious to be like jumping between different storylines. Like perspectives is one thing when the characters in the same situation, or like in the same overall plot, but like we're jumping between like completely different stories because I keep getting interrupted by the cat. So we've got our main character and what he's doing, and he's kind of investigating this book he's found, which is also the book that we're reading kind of partly, and there's these other stories that I guess you assume are just stories but are probably going to be part of like this overarching weird story plot. This is reminding me of a couple of other books purely based in vibes, not based in plot, but this is reminiscent to me of The 10,000 Doors of January by whoever wrote that book, as well as Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, purely based on vibes. The 10,000 Doors of January, there's like a doorway in this book, and that was it, but that had the same like story within a story kind of vibes. How many times have I said vibes already? And then Strange the Dreamer, nothing like this whatsoever, but something about that, like something about the magic in it feels a bit like this book. So I'm really enjoying that because I loved both of those books, so I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. I feel like I've rambled on quite enough for one vlog update, given that I've barely actually read anything. I'm hoping this will motivate me to read some more because I've not read anything in days. But like talking about, this is why I like vlogging, because talking about the book, I'm like, oh no, I do actually like reading. I do enjoy my hobbies. And it's kind of like prompting me to read, hopefully. Anyways, I'll catch up with you again soon, hopefully before the new year at this rate. But yeah. Hello pals, it is, I want to say Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. I finished a book, can you believe it? I finished listening to the audiobook for The Two Towers, so I'm now 2/3 of the way through the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I loved it, I enjoyed it. You know, it's very slow, meandering, like world building and lore heavy fantasy, so of course I love it. I already know the story from the movies, but I have to say, I have no idea what happened in this book. To be fair, I did start reading it. I did the maths, hold on. I started reading this book on the 8th of March. Sorry, the 9th of March. So it's taken me 287 days to read this book, so I kind of don't know what happened. Because a lot of it was a long time ago, and like the events in the book don't match up exactly with the events in the movies, because some of the movies would be really boring if they actually followed the like storyline of the books as it happens. But all that to say, I still had a good time. I will be reading the 3rd one, probably not soon. I think I just need something, I don't know, I just want to take a break before I finish this series. I don't know why I'm justifying that as though I don't have about 30 series on the go unfinished. But I have finished a book, so although this vlog has been going for like, it feels like weeks at this point, we'll call that a success. And I also have gathered you all here today because I have 2 very exciting things that came in the post, and I want to open them with you because I'm starved for social contact, and also this is my channel so I can do what I like. I have here the Broken Binding subscription book for December thing. I know what it is because they always announce ahead of time on their Twitter what the book's going to be, so you can like skip if you want to. They usually do series, which is why I am staying subscribed to the Broken Binding, even though it's expensive. But they do full series, so I've got 3 now, complete trilogies, all in matching nice editions, instead of like first books in series, which a lot of other book boxes do. So I do know what December's is, and it's one of, I want to say one of my favourite books, but that might be a bit of a bold statement. So as you can see, it is The Goblin Emperor by Catherine Addison. Okay, who else is like this? Because I don't want to like tear the paper. What am I going to use the paper for? I don't know. But I don't want to tear it. And there she is. So I do have the paperback for this. which I will be, I guess, like moving along because I don't need 2 copies. But can we? God. Okay, so the paperback is the same design, but instead of the green, it's like a tealy blue colour. I've got to say, I really like the green. It's very striking. Oh god, it's gorgeous. Okay, so we have the dust jacket. We have, look at that. You know I love a naked hardback with some foiling, and this, like, broken binding do not disappoint. We've got the pretty straight edges, and then the end papers is this map. Love it. And then they're all signed and numbered. So, like I've tried to say 4 times and interrupted by 4 different sirens, this is a very expensive treat to myself every month, but it's a fantasy book subscription. You get complete series. They're all gorgeous. I will be continuing to get these for as long as I can afford it. I will say though, I'm like low-key a bit disappointed in the January to March series. Not disappointed, but like a little bit disappointed because it is the, I forget what it's called, but it's the continuation of Joe Abercrombie's like books. So we had the first Law trilogy was the first series they did nearly a year ago now, and it's the like second trilogy of his. And as much as I'm a fan of like continuation series, I do think they could have spaced it out a little bit more because I've still only read the first book in the first Law trilogy, and that means like this isn't a trilogy, this is a standalone. So they've done 3 trilogies and this will be the 4th trilogy, and 2 of them will be by the same author in the same world. So like I feel like they could have spaced those out, gone for a bit more variety. But hey, I did like the first book, so I'm hoping I will continue to like his books, otherwise I'm gonna have 6 of them. But whatever, we're rambling. So the other treat to myself that came in the post is a tarot deck that I'm extremely excited about. Again, I like low-key want to do some tarot videos because I've been watching a lot of like tarot tube and I want to join in, but like I'm having a little identity, like a YouTube channel identity crisis because I'm not going to create a second channel. I barely keep up with this one. We're not doing a second channel, but like, do I want to mix the 2? Yeah, I really do. So we'll see. There might be tarot videos coming in the near future. So I ordered this from Tarot Collectibles. I will try and link them down below if I remember. Cute little bookmark, and they do Rider-Waite-Smith like redraws, so like themed Rider-Waite-Smith decks. So for as long as I've been like into tarot, I have been waiting to care about the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I do have a little tin of the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith cards because everyone is like, oh, you need to have an RWS deck to learn from, and I'm like, I don't like it though. But I've been waiting for like a Rider-Waite-Smith that I really gel with to pop up, and so I saw this. I've been waiting for this to like come back into stock, and it did, so I bought it. I also have stickers, which are cute. Those will go in my planner. I like that they've sent me the 9 of Swords because this is like the nightmare card, but it's very appropriate to me because a girl can't sleep and has a lot of nightmares. I feel like I interrupted my own tarot story. It was probably quite boring. So this is the Trippin Weight Tarot. It's the borderless edition, and I prefer a borderless deck generally speaking because I like how it looks when you found the cards out, frankly. That's basically all there is to it. And I've been waiting for this for weeks because there's like Royal Mail strikes, and obviously everything is delayed because it's Christmas, which is fine, like I don't mind at all, but like I'm extremely excited to now have this. So there she is. Okay, so this is what I like about a borderless deck, because when you like fan it out, it's all pretty along the edges because you got the different colours. I keep interrupting myself, but like I was saying, I've never felt that drawn to Pixie's artwork in the like traditional RWS deck, and I've been waiting for one that is more like fun or that I'm just more drawn to, and this is definitely it, and I'm a little bit concerned for my bank balance that this is gonna like open the door to Rider-Waite-Smith decks for me, because I don't know, we'll see how she reads, but I'm very excited. I'm like, I say a lot of things that never come to pass. I think I'm gonna be doing some like tarot content, so be prepared for that. That's as far as my like announcement video goes. Just like watch out. So the Hanged Man is one of my, like, I hesitate to like favourite cards, but I like the Hanged Man. It was my first Stalker card and the first deck I ever had, so like The Hanged Man is important to me. I love that he's got butterfly wings because I really like butterfly symbolism, I guess. I'm not a fan of butterflies in real life because they flutter about and you can't predict where they're going to go, and I dislike that aspect of butterflies. But they're very pretty, and I like the whole like metamorphosis symbolism thing. And I have to say, I do really like this Nine of Swords with the fact that the swords are like dripping. I don't know, it adds like a very sinister element to this card, which I approve of because I personally think that the darker cards in the deck should be like dark and a bit scary. So I'm on board with that. The Queen of Swords is the other card that I always pay a lot of attention to. In fact, this is the Queen of Swords from my Rider-Waite Centennial, and she lives in my phone case because I don't actually read with that deck. Anyway, I feel like it's probably enough rambling about tarot for like one vlog update. So I feel like this vlog is continuing to be, because it's not over. Quite an accurate little snapshot of what it's like inside my brain. Less of a train of thought and more of a like spider web of contemplations. So trying to bring things back around and take control of this vlog a little bit. As far as reading goes, I have finished The Two Towers, major success. I still have to read Major Success. It took me nearly 300 days to read it, but I've read it, it's done. She's closed, she's off my currently reading on Storygraph. I still have to read 3 more books to hit my reading goal before the year is out. And I've just realised I have 10 days to read 3 books, which is fine, except that I'm not currently reading and I can't seem to stick with a book for longer than 20 pages because I haven't read another word of the Starless Sea. I think it's a bit, I was liking it, it was good, but I just need something that's a bit easier for my mushy brain to handle. So we're going to be going into the new year with a lot of books sitting on my currently reading, because theoretically what I would like to do is enter the new year with like nothing on my currently reading. I can just pick up a book, start the new year fresh, all that bullshit, but that's clearly not going to happen this year. So I will catch up with you when I've read something, hopefully soon. It's going to need to be soon because I will hit my reading goal even if I have to read 3 short stories to do it. That's always an option. Hey pals, it's me again. You will be thrilled to hear that we can finally round out this vlog because I have actually managed to settle on a book to read. And I've actually settled on 3 books to read to round out my reading goal, but that's slightly getting ahead of myself. The book that I've settled on is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. As per often, I don't know where I've put my copy, but rest assured I am reading it. I'm about 100 pages in, but I did have the thought yesterday, I thought I've got to read 3 books before the end of the year. Do you know what 3 books is? That's a trilogy, baby! So that's what we're doing. We're rereading the Cruel Prince series. I think it's called the Folk of the Air trilogy. Anyway, for various reasons, I've just been feeling some like fae type books recently, and they're young adult, they're pretty easy to read, they're a reread, so they're pretty easy to read, and I started reading The Cruel Prince last night and I got really into it, and I'm confident that I can actually finish this book. So I am going to leave it there with the promise of reading some actual books in the next vlog. At this point when I'm filming, I don't know how long this vlog has been going on for, I don't know how much footage I've got, I don't know how much sense it makes, I don't know what I've done because I know I haven't done any reading, but I'm gonna leave it here for now. Thank you for sticking with me, I hope that you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. This would be very like cozy lighting to do my vlogs in. Why haven't I been doing this the whole time? It's too late now. See you next time.